Hey, what's going on, guys? This is the Club the Man 1993 coming at you live for the first time in a while. It's been a lot since I've done one of these discussion videos. I've been just very busy, with stuff outside of YouTube and just other stuff I've wanted to accomplish on YouTube as well. But I want to take a little break from all this and just enjoy my Sunday night and just relax a little bit and do a little topic video on a WWE topic. Now, I was thinking of what should I do? And recently, as we all know, as Dalyxman on YouTube posted a two-part series of the top 5 wrestlers he thinks should turn face and the top 5 wrestlers he thinks should turn heel. And my friend Daniel Giza did a video response to that on who he thinks should turn heel, but he hasn't done a who he thinks should turn babyface yet. So, I mean, Dan, I challenge you to do that as well to see which top 5 wrestlers are going to be or should be turning babyface sometime soon. It could be, today. It could be tomorrow. It could be 5 months from now. It could be a year or two from now or whenever. Some probably need more now, but some people don't really need a turn yet. So I want to do a video response, and I'm going to do both the top 5 wrestlers who should turn face and the top 5 wrestlers who should turn heel. Now, some of the wrestlers that I have on my list are similar to what Dalyxman and Dan had in their videos as well. I tried to personally do, I used a couple of them that were just obvious ones I agreed with, but I want to include also a couple of other fresh names in there just to bring up some discussion. So in case if you haven't seen their video yet, Dalyxman's face and heel turns he predicted for baby faces. He predicted Bray Wyatt, Rusev, Samoa Joe, Braun Strowman, and Kevin Owens, and his heels were Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns, Sasha Banks, Apollo Crews, and Randy Orton. Dan's heels, well, the guys who Dan predicts needs to turn heel are Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, Sasha Banks, Randy Orton, and American Alpha. So right there we got a couple similarities, which, again, not a problem at all there, but I have a couple of those in my lists as well, but I wanted to put a couple other names in there as well, just to, to express something a little bit different, if you know what I mean. So first, I will start with the baby faces of my top 5 wrestlers who I think need to turn face sometime soon. Again, doesn't have to be right away. But I'm going to do the faces first because some of these are a little bit repetitive from Dan's and Dalyxman's list. But some of them is like, I just put baby faces are kind of hard because lately there's been a lot of people who have had a change in character lately that I felt it was long coming. They needed to do so. A lot more people that don't need to turn heel, and we've had a few face turns, so it's like we're kind of running out of time here now where WWE has a little bit of a gap where they've made a lot of character changes recently, and it's time to just ease back on it for a while. And these baby faces, again, most of them are a little repetitive from Dalyxman's list, but I have a couple new names, and one I put in there more so because I prefer this person as a face than a heel, but I'm giving his recent heel turn a chance just to see where it takes him since he's part of a tag team, and that's Cesaro. My number 5 for face is Cesaro. Personally, this is more so because when you think of a baby face, you're going to think of someone that the crowd is realistically going to cheer for, someone that you're realistically going to view as a hero, someone that you want to see win. You build up, babyface sympathy by, constant losses and selling yourself to wanting people to see you win. If it's the opposite role, we shouldn't have any sympathy for the heels. We should have sympathy for the faces. And no matter what, Cesaro is that guy that everybody just feels bad for because he has all this talent. He had a great 2016. He's very underrated, and he's never gotten a WWE title push yet. Well, a run for the title, not even a title opportunity besides an opportunity for a number 1 contendership. It's long deserving. I still personally think that Cesaro should have gotten that title opportunity back in 2014 when when him and Jack Swagger split up, and then he won the Honor the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, and they should have kept that feud just with Swagger and Cesaro, but they threw RVD in there, and they had a triple threat elimination match at Survivor Series, which nothing really much to remember. But still, I felt like that should have been when they just capitalized on turning Cesaro face and giving him a nice solid face run and eventually having a match against Brock Lesnar. Maybe he could have won or not, but still, that he at least would have gotten a title shot. Like, how on earth do you have a guy like Cesaro who has gone on through, like, has just done as well as he could? He got the freaking Cesaro section going for him, but he has not yet got a title opportunity. I mean, I was a little upset at first when they turned him heel recently, when him and Cesaro turned and ambushed the Hardy Boys. But I mean, I'm going to give it a chance as to seeing, where they'll go with Cesaro as a heel. I personally still think, he's always going to be rooted for. Keep him as a babyface. As much as I still am not happy that they didn't give Cesaro that championship opportunity whenever after that best of 7 series. I mean, him and Sheamus as a tag team, I'll be real, I've been enjoying it, but it just frustrates me that Cesaro is still not getting that WWE title opportunity. And even though Cesaro is a full-on heel now, people are still going to want to see that from him. I mean, as a heel, could it happen? We'll see. I mean, there's not much depth in the Raw tag team division now with the 3 teams that have split up, which are Goldust and R-Truth, Enzo and Big Cass, and now I'm hearing rumors that they're not going to use Heath Slater and Rhino as a tag team anymore. So where's your depth there in your tag team division? You have 3 heels and 1 babyface tag team now. It's a little bit goofed up, in my opinion, honestly. But I mean, whenever it comes to time that they want to split Cesaro and Sheamus, it's obvious. Cesaro needs to go back as a babyface. Sheamus has to remain the heel. I personally think Sheamus is more fit to be a heel, especially since, again, with all respect, I've always thought Sheamus has a different, arsenal in his wrestling style. But I feel that fans still don't really get behind him too well. So what should you do? People don't want to see him win. Keep him the heel. Make Cesaro the babyface. It's just again, this is probably one of my weaker picks because he's more recently turned heel, and it's obvious that he should be probably the top babyface of the company if they booked him right. But that's just the reason why I think Cesaro, I refer him as a babyface. So hopefully, I mean, again, once Sheamus and Cesaro are out of the tag title picture, and if they're still a team together, maybe if it comes down to Sheamus and Cesaro being the duo that works together, and one of them gets a nice title reign, Cesaro hopefully, then okay, I'll take it. But again, Cesaro is still going to be so over. People are going to want to root for him anyways. Why not just keep him a babyface? You know what I mean? But that's my number 5. Again, I had a hard time with my babyface. There's not too many wrestlers I feel need to turn babyface. Now, number 4, however, is my only women's wrestler I listed for on both my lists for face and heels. Number 4 is Lana. First off, everybody loves appearance from Lana, that's a start. And also, her storyline development of her becoming a wrestler hasn't quite made sense to me. And also, it's kind of made her look, ridiculous, because she's coming out and debuting saying that she's this dangerous, ravishing Russian that, she's going to just, come out there and just surprise everybody and steal the show and rip the SmackDown Women's Championship off Naomi. And what happens? But I'm going to be honest, their match at Money in the Bank and their rematch last week wasn't really anything to, make us believe that Lana could actually win. If anything, right now, this has made Lana one of the bigger underdogs in the women's division. And, why should we, us as wrestling fans, people who love seeing Lana, we have more sympathy for her right now than we have heat on her. So why keep her as a heel when people want to see her win as a babyface and make her that more underdog character for the SmackDown Women's Division? It's just my honest thought. I feel should happen because Lana's someone who everybody wants to cheer, as I keep saying. And the SmackDown Women's Division has a decent balance of depth right now. So I mean, it wouldn't hurt to turn Lana face, honestly. Which leads us to our number 3. Now here's the one thing though. When Rusev comes back, because my number 3 is Rusev. When Rusev comes back, I'm not sure if they should keep him and Lana together. Like maybe just like, have them, go their separate ways for now. Because, the alliance between them, it's all right, but like we can't have like, multiple like, power couples as we're starting to get with Maria and Mike Kanellis, who are slowly, making themselves known on SmackDown Live. So I'd say maybe keep them separate, have Lana focus more on trying to, prove that she can be a wrestler in the WWE and have that story and eventually someday her take the title off of, one of the biggest heels in the company, which honestly a possibility. I still feel that they're more so transitioning Charlotte to a babyface role because she'll eventually have the title probably. And a match I want to see at WrestleMania is probably Charlotte and Asuka. Maybe Lana will be the one to eventually dethrone Asuka on the main roster. Like, who knows? That's a little, a little beyond, a little too far of thinking there of some fantasy booking, but just a thought, because again, this feud has with her and with Lana and Naomi has kind of made Lana look like an underdog. Like, we had the doubt she could really win a match. Like, she hasn't really stood her word as like some people, Samoa Joe, who says he's not afraid of Brock Lesnar. Boom, he goes out there and he attacks Brock Lesnar for a couple weeks, and it proves that he's not afraid. Right into people who claim this stuff, and they go out there and they look weak. But yeah, just my opinion. I ran a little long talk about Lana. Yeah, my number 3 though is Rusev, because Rusev needs a change in character. He's due back soon, and it has a feel that Seth Rollins had when he came back to the WWE from his long-term injury. Like the injury and, Seth Rollins, people were starting to gain more respect for Seth Rollins before he got injured. And people also are seeing this talent in Rusev because the WWE is running out of fresh products of feuds in their industry right now. And they're looking for people like, a Rusev or, as I said, for Lana or several others. I don't want to say their name right now because they're coming up in my list. And Rusev's one of those guys that like, hey, he's a great talent. He's got a good chance of, being a big star. What's going on with them? We need to give him a push. And as a heel, I mean, you look at Rusev, he looks like a guy who needs to be a dominating heel, tearing crap up and just destroying everybody. But, you see, there's some people in the WWE that you look at them and you wonder, how could you possibly make them as a babyface? Rusev is one of those examples. Another person that actually Dalyxman mentioned in his list was Samoa Joe. More so because, although he is a dominating heel, people are going to want to see him win. So why not make him a hero in some way? Or like he also had Kevin Owens in his list, which these are names that are not in my list. So because Kevin Owens is great as a heel, but eventually wanted to give him a babyface run, make it more like how like Stone Cold. It doesn't have to be like this like extremely nice guy to always honoring the fans and stuff like that. But just that hero who pretty much says screw you WWE and all that stuff in the ring. So I mean, Rusev can somehow be adaptive, still have like an arrogant side to him, not be a complete nice guy, but be in a role where people are going to want him to win. That's why I think they should give Rusev a shot as a babyface on SmackDown Live. Because you think about it, who else on SmackDown Live that's a babyface would you want to see Rusev feud with? I mean, maybe Randy Orton. I've never really seen them have a feud before, so maybe them. AJ Styles possibly. I don't know about him and Nakamura. I'm not sure if I want to see that match. We've seen Sami Zayn and Rusev, but we'll see. I do think though, like a face turn for Rusev is a fresh start for him. And I don't think I have as much of a case to make for him as I do for Lana, but I definitely think Rusev should turn babyface upon his return to SmackDown Live soon and see where they go from there under Ryan Ward's writing. Now, number 2 is someone, in my opinion, I pretty much already consider him a babyface because WWE pretty much pulled a double turn whenever this guy had the monster attack on the guy that they want to see destroyed, and that's Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman, no doubt about it, is a monster. You look at Braun Strowman and think, this is a guy that is not meant to be an underdog. But as I said before, and a lot of people say this too, a babyface needs to be somebody who is a hero, that does things that make people happy, makes them want to win. Braun Strowman easily accomplished that, Mr. I'm not finished with you! Whatever, he destroyed Roman Reigns, put him in that ambulance, and flipped it over. People love it whenever Braun Strowman comes out and just literally destroys Roman Reigns. Because it's nothing against Roman Reigns. It's just people are tired of Vince McMahon trying to shove him down our throats. And Braun Strowman's like literally destroying him. And that's what people enjoy. Because of that, I still feel they pulled a double turn in this feud. Why keep Roman Reigns as the babyface and Braun Strowman as the heel if Braun Strowman is getting the better reaction than Roman Reigns? Think about it. He can pull off a babyface turn, in my opinion. And my the number one person that needs to turn face so bad, is Bray Wyatt. Rusev is not suffering as bad as Bray Wyatt, but Bray Wyatt is suffering pretty darn bad right now. Bray Wyatt is the guy that cuts great promos. But like I said before, there's guys like Samoa Joe who keeps his word. Not Brock Lesnar. Bray Wyatt doesn't seem to keep his word because all he does is loses. He lost to who? John Cena. He lost to Roman Reigns. He's lost to Kane on several occasions. And his feud with Randy Orton was great until his compound got burned down. And then the push of Bray Wyatt got burned down as well. He got the tag team championships. He got the WWE championship. And for a few days, Bray Wyatt, in my opinion, to me, looked like a legit main eventer. But what happened? They put the title back on Randy, which people didn't really care too much because Randy Orton was not on my list. I personally feel Randy Orton is missing a lot as a face, but he's just perfect as a heel. But it's not the case. And Bray Wyatt's push went down. And now it's like, I just can't take him serious. I don't know why they put him on Raw, because he's going to get lost in the shuffle once again. I need to sit back a little bit, so I'll move my laptop a little closer. In his feud with Seth Rollins right now, it's like, it feels like the same thing. Like, it's just going to happen. Bray Wyatt's all talk. A win's going to do what to him? And a loss is not going to do much to him either. But think about it. Bray Wyatt is somebody who has a lot of sympathy built behind. Because like Rusev, the fans see how great of a talent he is. And they want to see this guy succeed. Just turn him face. Make him that savior that wants to save us. And we want to see that happen. I mean, my goodness. Last year after WrestleMania 32, the reaction Bray Wyatt got when the Wyatt family attacked the League of Nations and even teamed with Roman Reigns for a night, the reaction, he was so freaking over. Bray Wyatt was on his way to new and better things, but then he got injured and they brought him back as a heel. I did not understand that. And honestly, the feud with the Wyatt family and the New Day, that was pretty good. And the way it started, I thought at first New Day was reverting back to a heel role and the Wyatt family was keeping their face role. That's how it seemed to me at first. That's not the case it happened. Whenever Randy Orton turned on Bray Wyatt, I was hoping it would have been a double turn, having Randy turn heel and Bray be the babyface. But it's not the case. I mean, Bray Wyatt's another talent that they're pretty much wasting. How often do you see Bray Wyatt actually getting big wins, and not just these choppy matches that he's sneaking a victory in? Yeah. But yes, a face turn by Bray Wyatt though is money. He will be so over. The crowd loves him. You just gotta turn him face, and they're gonna root for him, whoever he faces up against. Because they're tired of seeing Bray Wyatt get screwed over. They want him to win. And Bray Wyatt could easily be that hero. So that is my top 5 heels in WWE that should turn face. And again, from 5 to 1, it's Cesaro, Lana, Rusev, Braun Strowman, and Bray Wyatt. Let's just go to the live chat here. Nope. No, nothing in the live chat. That's fine. All right, so now let's move on to my top 5 wrestlers who I think should turn heel. And this list was a little bit more interesting to bring up, so I wanted to keep these guys for the second half of this video, because there's a good amount to talk about with these guys. Couple repeats, but several new names that I have listed up here for the top 5 wrestlers who I think should turn heel. My number 5, I don't think it's going to be turning heel anytime soon. But eventually down the road, when this team breaks up, this is the guy that needs to turn heel. And that is Big E. Big E, was starting his rise in WWE when I first started watching WWE full time back in 2013. He has shown great singles potential. And you think about it right now, if you could, whenever the New Day splits up, which again, with him being on SmackDown, fresh new start, I can see him feuding with the Usos, American Alpha, the Hype Brothers, heck, even a feud with Breezango one day. Sure, why not? Not the Ascension, because unless he does some of the Ascension, I don't even count the Ascension anymore. Sorry for the yawn. But when it comes time for the New Day to split up, Big E's got to be the one who makes the turn. If you think about it, Kofi Kingston, yeah, I like Kofi, but he's just going to go back to the regular mid-card wrestler that he was. There's nothing really fresh there. Xavier Woods, I mean, I'll give it that Woods has improved since the New Day, started getting momentum. I still don't see him, though, being that big of a star, though, in the WWE. Maybe in the cruiserweight division and maybe on maybe in a mid-card run, but I still think Xavier Woods wouldn't be the guy to make the turn. I think it's got to be Big E. This is a guy, when he was Intercontinental Champion a couple years ago, he was a great Intercontinental Champion. He looked solid. He was a guy being built up from the bottom up. I think he shows great singles he has great singles potential, and I think that they should turn him heel, because most of his singles run so far has been as a face. I mean, he was a heel when he first came up, when him and Dolph Ziggler were paired up together, but then afterwards he's pretty much gone off on his own as a babyface, which, I mean, it's just something different. I feel like Big E, he's not the tallest guy out there, but he's a big, strong guy, and I think that heel turn could make him a little dangerous. He obviously has the humor to him, as he's very funny on the mic with New Day, but I feel like turn him heel, have that more serious tone to him, and we go from there. That's my opinion. So my number 5 is Big E. Now number 4 is actually a tag team, and Dan mentioned American Alpha in his list, which I can see happening, honestly, with how American Alpha hasn't really been used much since they've dropped the tag titles, and on SmackDown Live period, they haven't really had anything that's got them going, and I can see them turning heel. But just another team to throw a new name out there. What about the Hype Brothers? What do you guys think about a Hype Brothers heel turn? Because you think about it. They lost a tag team title opportunity after Zack Ryder got injured, winning the match to become the number 1 contender for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship back in January. Mojo Rawley won the Battle Royal, the Andre Giant Memorial Battle Royal, which was probably only just so Rob Gronkowski could have a show up at WrestleMania 33. I don't understand why they have to do stuff like that, but he hasn't really got much of an opportunity since then either. He had one and he missed out on. So don't you think there's some frustration there? They had the tag title opportunity also, and as soon as they come back, they have to earn that opportunity back. Would you be a little frustrated? Again, both American Alpha can make almost the same case as them not being used, but the Hype Brothers, I think, right now have a legitimate story. And I know a lot of people aren't big fans of the Hype Brothers, and I can understand why. But to me, before Zack Ryder got injured, they were like the next tag team in line to start getting like a decent push, because they were the closest to being like wearing all the green off of them, in my opinion. And I think, storyline wise, again, I think it fits that the Hype Brothers could turn heels sometime soon. Maybe even before SummerSlam, because I'm thinking at SummerSlam, they'll probably have a fatal four-way for the SmackDown tag titles, probably between New Day, the Usos, Breezango, and the Hype Brothers, maybe. We can go that route. But yeah, so that's why my number 4 is the Hype Brothers. Check real quick. Nope. Nothing new in the live chat. Number 3 is a little bit of a surprising pick. And I'm a huge fan of this wrestler, but I'm wondering if maybe a heel turn could also take him to the next level. I mean, like trying to develop more of a character out of him. I mean, he's still new and he's on NXT. He's still a little new to NXT, but I just feel like with like the darkness in him and his character, I wondered if we need to pull an AJ Styles, turn him heel for a few months to bring out to light that fire in him, and to bring out a solid, develop a little more of a character for him. And I'm not talking about Apollo Crews, who's on NXT, but I mean, I'm okay with Apollo Crews turning heel as well. I'm starting to wonder they're not going to, since the Titus brand's come a lot more focused on Akira Tozawa. But anyways, get back on track. A guy who I think I'd be interested in seeing if they would consider turning him heel is Aleister Black. I'm a huge fan of Aleister Black. I've fallen in love with Aleister Black ever since he debuted at NXT TakeOver San Antonio. I love the entrance. The style is so different. He's just awesome. But I feel like so far we still haven't quite seen a character out of him. And as a babyface, I don't know if we can quite get that out of Aleister Black as a babyface. I would be a little more interested in seeing if we turn Aleister Black heel, would that help him gain a little more of a character and rise him up to the next level? I mean, it worked for AJ Styles. I think a guy like, Aleister Black, Nakamura can even do that if his English is still a little off in a couple of months down the road, Just an interesting thought I had. Aleister Black as a heel. What do you guys think? Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. Now, my numbers 1 and 2 are the only 2 I have on this list that are repeated from both Dan's and Dalyxman's video. But I kind of went more so like, one of them obviously needs to turn more than the other one. Both these guys need a heel turn. But which one's more likely to happen? That's how I decided which one to put number 1. My number 2 is Roman Reigns. And I'm not going to go on ranting about Roman Reigns for too long, because I've talked about him a lot as to why he should turn heel. As I said earlier, with Braun Strowman becoming the guy who has destroyed the guy that we're tired of seeing being shoved down our throats, that we want to see lose a feud, why not turn him heel? And the reaction he got for retiring The Undertaker, how could you possibly move on with Roman Reigns as a babyface after that? The WWE has had so many opportunities to turn Roman heel, and they haven't pulled the trigger. They should have done it after he won the Royal Rumble in 2015, because no one was happy about that. Another opportunity I could think of was when there was a pay-per-view, I think it was Elimination Chamber actually in 2015. They had nothing for him to do. Why not turn on Dean Ambrose then and become that full-out heel? You know? I still think the biggest missed opportunity, though, is him retiring The Undertaker. The guy didn't really show any respect to The Undertaker at all. And the reaction he got when he came out the night after WrestleMania, he couldn't even talk for a good, 10 minutes until he finally was able to say, this is my yard now. I mean, I'll give it to Roman. His promos have gotten better this year. Short and sweet, not being that so much nice guy, just being that guy who thinks he deserves it. Heck, he kind of expressed him being upset before the Fatal 5-Way match at Extreme Rules for the number one contention for the Universal title. And he pretty much said that he feels he deserves to get that title shot because he retired The Undertaker. And for a while, he thought he put Braun Strowman on the shelf. There's so many times this year, I'm literally sitting there going, heel, heel, heel. Roman Reigns should be a heel. And as I promised, I'm not going to go on too long about it. But yes, my number 2 is Roman Reigns. My number 1 is another former Shield member, Dean Ambrose. I've been defending Dean Ambrose turning heel for a while now. Because when he was on SmackDown Live, I felt like he was one of the top baby faces on SmackDown. They had chances to make someone else a little, stronger of a baby face than him. Bray Wyatt, Apollo Crews. Well, AJ Styles was going well as a heel, but now they're burning him as more of a top baby face on SmackDown Live. Dean Ambrose is a guy that I feel is running out of a lot of options as a face. There is one thing I think they need to do before they would turn him heel, and that is have him in a match with his former Shield brothers. Have a Shield reunion and have them actually have a match. Then you can turn him heel. When's that going to happen? I'll talk about that probably later this week in my SummerSlam predicted card video with my 4 Horseman brothers. Sorry, got a little sleepy here. But I mean, I agree. I mean, as a babyface, Dean Ambrose is all right. He's at his best whenever he's chasing for a title. But when he has been champion, something feels like it's missing from him. With his character, the Lunatic Fringe, I think that he could bring out that more lunatic and psycho character that he kind of had when he was with the Shield, when he was a heel, if they would turn him heel. I can pretty much see him be a guy version of Nikki Cross. I don't know if that's a little too far thinking there, but that's what I can honestly see out of Dean Ambrose as a heel. A guy version of Nikki Cross. Just this big, lunatic, that psychopathic mindset. I think he can pull it off. I think that's going to, make him from, a decent to an average WWE champion to a great main event level champion, I feel. Just my honest opinion. But yeah, that's it. As a reminder, again, the lists I had for baby faces, for the top 5 people I think should turn face, are Bray Wyatt, Braun Strowman, Rusev, Lana, and Cesaro, and heels are Big E, the Hype Brothers, Aleister Black, Roman Reigns, and Dean Ambrose. Some similarities to Dalyxman and Daniel Giza, but some differences, again, just to get people, thinking of, other ideas as to who should turn and who shouldn't turn. Didn't really have anybody in the live chat, but that's okay. If you watch this video, again, please click the like button and subscribe for more content to come to my channel as well. Again, please check out Dalyxman's channel, my friend Daniel Giza's channel, and my other 2 Horseman brothers, Gene from BSP Wrestling and Right One Kenobi. Links to your channels are down below. Please leave your comments down in the comment section. Who are your top 5 wrestlers you think should turn face in WWE, and the top 5 you think you should turn heel? So leave your comments down in the comment section below. And as always, please, subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Twitter at TheManAirboy93, and stay tuned for more content to come to my channel as well. That is it, guys. I am out. I will see you all later. Peace.